Good evening and welcome to another
McMuscles Midnight Massacre.
That's the name. And we are back with another review of a more modern movie. You found this one.
I found this one on my Amazon Prime streaming service. So if you're part of Amazon Prime, you get to watch movies and TV shows and stuff like that.
Doesn't seem like it's anywhere else.
It might be. That's where I found it. But anyways.
Pet.
It's called Pet. 2016, I believe.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a few weeks ago or something.
I think. I mean, it's fairly recent. It's only 2 years ago, but they may have just gotten it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But Pet stars a hobbit and a girl from...
Her name is Xenia Solo. I don't know if I'm saying that right. She was from Lost Girl, which, if you guys don't know, was a sci-fi fantasy noir TV show that was super Canadian. She played Kenzie, this little sidekick of the main character who was like a succubus. Like, have you not seen Lost Girl?
I've never heard of it.
I actually high-key love Lost Girl. I didn't watch all the seasons, but I loved her in it. She was a plucky sidekick. She's very, very thin with boobs and wearing the obnoxious heels and fashion, blue eyes, piercing blue eyes.
You showed me the trailer for this, and I was like, this looks okay. But then as the trailer goes on, I was like, whoa, this looks actually a lot more interesting. And at first I wasn't sure because it seemed more like just a thriller, and I wasn't really...
You're like, oh, I don't think it's a horror.
Yeah, but then you watch it, and then you're like, no, it's a horror movie, like a serial killer type movie. But it basically stars, Hobbit, Dominic Monaghan.
The Hobbit who got the hot girl from Lost to date him.
Also, he was in the Rihanna and Eminem music video.
Oh, was he?
He was the guy that was like
the abusive asshole. Yeah, okay.
What a great role. Yeah. Anyway, it stars him and the girl from Lost Girl.
Yes.
And it's kind of like a standard sort of like a creepy stalker movie, but then it kind of I'd say at the 40% mark, it kind of has sort of a twist.
The 25% mark, which is going to be hard to review this because the first plot twist happens within maybe 25 minutes of the movie, so it's like you can't really talk that much more about things without giving it away. So
if you don't want to see it, maybe stop now, but we gotta
talk about some stuff.
Yeah. We will say off the bat that I really enjoyed this movie.
I did. It was good.
It was surprisingly good.
Because the acting was good, because she's a good actress.
What wasn't good was at the start, and I got used to it like I thought I would, but it seemed like it was badly ADR'd, where they re-recorded their dialogue at the start.
It sounded like they were dubbed.
And I'm not sure if that was just the one scene or whatever, but as it went on, I then stopped noticing or stopped being whatever. But the first scene, I was like, woof. When the Hobbit starts talking, I was just like, oh man, that sounds not right.
The Hobbit,
yeah, that's like samurai cop level shit.
Yeah, it was not great for that.
But basically, this guy.
This guy sees a girl on the bus. Okay, he's just a normal guy. He works at the animal control with the puppies, right? At the SPCA check place,
a dream job
or whatever. No, it's a dream job and also not great because he has to they put down the pets that he loves. So again, spoiler, but also warning: if you're not into seeing animals be euthanized, don't watch this movie.
To be fair, there's only one, but
but it was sad.
It's
meant to be sad to show that he has a big heart and he's a good guy. But he's a good guy, right? So he sees a girl on the bus that he recognizes from high school who was obviously above him in grade and more popular.
Yeah.
And he tries talking to her on the bus and it's just kind of okay, dude, cool, whatever. But then he goes crazy, looking her up online, seeing where she works. Makes this whole plan to ask her out, so he goes to the diner where she works.
And that doesn't go well.
It does not go well. It does not go well.
Because she has a good-looking former ex-boyfriend that just basically beats him up and kicks him out.
Well, when he goes and he stalks her at a bar, where she's at the bar with the ex-boyfriend, and they kind of are get out of here, Hobbit.
But
and they're
in the fracas, in the little
the fleckus,
in the little Donnybrook that they have, she drops a notebook that she's constantly writing in. And he picks it up, grabs it, walks home, reads it, and then he's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So that's that 25% mark.
Yeah.
Spoiler, sort of twist.
I guess tune out? Or do we talk about it? Do we not talk about it?
Well, I think we could talk about it now.
Part of what's in the trailer will show up to this point where, yes, you see that he finds an abandoned area in the SPCA or whatever.
In a basement.
In a basement. And he has access to these drugs for animals, and he's gonna kidnap her, and he puts together this cage.
All these people who talk about love like it's this lightning bolt. Love's not a lightning bolt.
He orders welding solder kits off of fucking Amazon.
He looks up how to make a cage online.
How to make a person-shaped, sized cage. And he makes it, and he kidnaps her. He, like, tranks her out. He rides the bus, though, but somehow gets her here.
This guy has no car.
He abducts her in her apartment. He doesn't have a car because we always see him on the fucking bus. Okay. Maybe he Ubered with her, pretending she was drunk or something.
And he had a box ready.
He had a box.
A giant human-sized box.
So he gets her in the cage. So she all up in the cage. And he's like, well, I'm going to try and save you.
And he keeps saying that.
It's like, I'm going to save you. You don't understand. I'm doing this for you. And you're like, okay, he's like the nice guy, right? Who's just trying to save her from, I guess, I don't know, being a woman, being whatever. You're just like, what is he saving her from?
And then eventually...
And then you find out.
He opens up the notebook and explains how she's actually a serial killer.
So that's what happened. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going there. We're saying it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened was you think like... Well, and also that, if we're going to talk about that, we're going to talk about the people in her head that she's talking to?
So this woman is not mentally sound, and she has like
She's actually a sociopath.
Yeah.
Is what it's called, because the way she describes it, because I just read a book about it, is that she doesn't feel anything, and since she's young, she has to like pretend to blend in with people,
and the only time
fake
she
having
feels
emotions.
stuff is when she's murdering someone.
Yeah. So the thing is, he found this book, and he's like, well, I found your book. And she's like, whatever, that book could be like, I'm a writer, it's a work of fiction. He's like, yeah, that's what I thought, so I followed you, bitch. And he's like, I witnessed you murdering like 20 people. And he's like, well, I had you in this cage because you have to stop murdering people.
And he's like, but I think you're a really good person, thus
like,
I can save you.
Yeah, exactly. But he never says how. He's just like, no, but I'm gonna. And you're like, okay.
Are you gonna save me by feeding me McDonald's every day through my cage?
I don't know, but he's just like, his plan is to save her, but he has no plan how to do that.
Yeah, he never explains it.
He never is like, through my love?
And he never even gets a chance to enact it, because like, it just seems over the course of 2 or 3 days, things get more and more complicated. And it becomes like a really interesting cat and mouse mental
dynamic
of her kind of trying to get the power over him, and then he tries to fight back through the cage.
Playing him like a fucking violin.
Of course, at the place he works, there's another security guard that works the front desk that's kind of suspicious of this guy. Doesn't like him. He's always eating a sandwich.
He's eating these giant sandwiches that like were like low carb, and I'm looking at that bread and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
That looks like such a great sandwich.
I don't think we'll spoil this, but that guard, and like that's where this sort of dynamic between all three of them, that's where the horror kind of comes in. Because there's a pretty horrible scene involving all three of them, and it just goes on from there, and he has to try to sort of figure out some way to outsmart her, but she's outsmarting him.
Like, I don't want to spoil it, but that was kind of like a huge spoiler, because it's like...
Well, I didn't say what happens.
Okay.
It's fine.
Well, we've come this far with our spoiling. Like I said, this twist happens within the first third of the movie.
Yeah, so...
Which, like, even if you see, like... From the trailers, they really advertise it, though, as not just, like, creepy guy abducts a girl that rejects him, puts her in a cage. They're like, the twist, the ending, the...
Because it's not a thing that happens at the very end. You didn't see
this coming, ever, you know?
Because if it was just that, the movie would be worse. If it was just him being a creepy guy. At this
point, we're like, yeah, a guy abducts woman, keeps her in a cage. We're like, it's like too true to life. Because you know all those creepy, horrible men that abduct women, keep them like prisoner for like 20 years.
Like when you see the real life news where someone like comes out of a basement after 20 years.
Exactly. You're like, well, that horror exists in our daily life, so whatever. But like, yeah, it does have, the dynamic is their personalities and the manipulation and things like that, you know.
And a lot of good acting, even if it was ADR or I got used to it, whatever. Yeah. There's a lot of good acting, especially between the two of them, because it's mostly them. There's not a lot of characters in this movie. There's like 6
actors in this movie.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it overall. I mean, it wasn't particularly scary or anything, but there are some scenes of gore and everything. But I enjoyed it. I was actually pretty surprised. I never heard of it before.
No, me either. It was when I was like looking to do the series and like trying to find a mix of old and new movies. Yeah. And there are so many, guys. Go on your Amazon Prime. If you're a Prime member, There's like only went 20 pages into just horror that I was looking at movies.
If you have a PlayStation 4 and Xbox, I'm pretty sure you can just get the app on there and like it'll all be there.
Yeah.
And like I didn't find the end to the list of the horror movies.
It's never ending. There's never ending horror movies on Amazon Prime. Like who fucking knew?
And I assume that stays the same for all the genres. Like it just
I guess. I mean, they even have TV shows. They have some of their stuff that's like just them that they make it like Netflix like exclusive to Prime, but they just have a mix of like really old movies, new movies, movies you never heard of. So
so Pet, I would definitely say
I'd recommend. I'd even say pay for it.
Yeah, if you see it on a VOD because it's not in theaters anymore, but if you see it there, and especially if you see it on Netflix, absolutely give it a look because it was had some great scenes, nail biting scenes. Not exactly a horror movie per se, but it was
like she's a good actress. Her wig is horrible in this movie. That's why I'm wearing this awful one to like represent. But like, get past it. And
it's hard to get past when you're guys in Lord of the Rings. When like the most well known thing he was being a hobbit. I'm just like
this little hobbit face.
Taking the hobbits, taking the hobbits, the eyes, and that's all I kept thinking of
the whole time.
So that concludes Pet, I think. We both recommend it.
Look it up. Check it out.
And that concludes another McMuscles Midnight Massacre. And we will see you maybe tomorrow night with whatever.
Yeah, you don't know.
We don't know. It might star another person from Lord of the Rings. Because they all need work.
Yeah.